Friends, I'm Pastor Ben Hayes from First Baptist Church, Dadeville, Alabama, bringing you our thoughts of the day on this magnificent Monday. And I'm excited to start a new week here in the office. Looking forward to what God has in store for us. Lots of folks who have needs today, and we're praying for, and I hope that you'll join us in praying for those needs. If you remember, last week we left off talking about happy suffering, being blessed for suffering for the cause of Christ. And I know that's oxymoronic, like jumbo shrimp, those kinds of things. But the truth is, we are the happiest as believers when we are being persecuted for the cause of Christ, when we stand strong, and we have, Peter says at the end of or middle of verse 14, the Spirit of glory and the Spirit of God rest upon us because of that. I mean, think about that. Because we stand strong in the face of persecution. And I know we talked about this last week. A lot of people have this idea, I just don't know if I can do that. Don't worry about it. When the time comes, God will give His children the grace to stand, to say the right things, to do the right things, and to experience His blessing. Now, listen to this last part again. On their part, He is blasphemed, but on your part, He is glorified. They're doing the one thing that they cannot be forgiven of. But you are doing the one thing that brings glory to the Lord and brings glory to His Son, Jesus Christ. Now, pick up verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, a thief, an evildoer, or as a busybody in other people's matters. I got to tell you, that verse is almost comical to me. Not in the sense that it's funny, but the sense that it gets me. Because as believers, listen, none of us, we understand that murder is a sin, and as true believers, we're not going to commit murder, all right? As we look at this, we're not going to be thieves, even though I got to tell you, there are times that even Christians are thieves. They steal time from their employer. They steal office products from their employer. They do things they shouldn't do, and their heart has become hardened to that because everybody does it or it's no big deal. We have to be held accountable for that. An evildoer, we're not evildoers. I mean, we're good doers. We do good things for people. So that part of the verse doesn't quite hit us the same because we're all like, hey, that's not me. I don't have to worry about that. I'm never going to suffer for that cause. But then look at what he says. As a busybody in other people's matters. Now, I got to tell you, this is one of those things that as Christians we have to be very careful of because we like to get into other people's business. We like to gossip. We like to talk about that. A lot of times we do it in the form of prayer requests. I just want you to know that we need to pray for so-and-so because, and then we go into this long spiel about everything that's going on in their lives. Now, I love prayer requests, and I think we ought to share prayer requests. But we got to make sure that we're not being busybodies and gossips in disguising that as a prayer request. Understand this morning that what Peter is telling us here, it's as bad to be a busybody as it is to be a murderer. Wow. Well, keep in mind, the Bible tells us sin is sin. There are no levels of sin. There's no sin that's worse than another because all sin is rebellion against God, and we're held accountable to those things. But here's the thing here. What Peter's telling us is, look, if you suffer for the cause of Christ, be happy. You're blessed. God's going to take care of you. But if you do something stupid, if you do something that is rebellious against God and you suffer, that's a whole other category. Don't do that. Don't expect that you're going to have peace in the midst of your suffering when you're doing the wrong things. Verse 16, yet if anyone suffers as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God in this matter. Oh, listen, here's the thing. True believers, and understand, when we say Christian, we've lost sight of what that means today. We don't get it. Everybody's a Christian in the United States of America. Some of you who are watching this morning, some of you who are listening to this, you're going to say, yeah, I'm a Christian, but you've never surrendered your heart and life to Jesus Christ. You've never committed to Him, and your life does not show the fruit that is proof that you have committed your life to Him. And so you say, I'm a Christian, and so-and-so is a Christian. I got to tell you, the only true believer, the only Christian, is a person who is 100% sold out to Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior of his life. I know that sounds hard, but that's the bare minimum of what God requires. And he says, when you suffer as a Christian, don't be ashamed, but glorify God in this matter. I want you to think about that today. I want you to think about your relationship with Jesus. Where do you stand? Are you a true believer? Call me. Let's talk about it. Be blessed.